Everyone says Sydney is expensive, but how expensive is expensive? Let's break it down.
We are spilling the tea on what it actually costs us to live here. Just real numbers, no sugarcoating, no fluff.
This is as unfiltered as it can get.
Let's get into it.
We have broken this down into category by category, things like groceries, bills, utilities, health insurance, and all that adulting jazz. We are going to keep housing aside because rent or mortgage can vary a lot depending on where you want to live, the kind of suburb. It can be a few $100s to a few $1,000s. So let's keep that aside. In terms of our housing, we own this place. I mean, the bank technically owns most of it, but we'll leave it at that. Rest of it, so the other expenses, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. I will be talking about like our specific expense, whereas
I will be talking about the general average.
the first section we are starting off with is groceries and essentials. We spend about 1,250 Australian dollars per month.
According to Canstar Blue, the average for a household of 2 people in Australia is about $770.
So it sounds like we eat a lot. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about the grocery expense. We do try and buy as much organic stuff as possible, and we also eat a fair amount of meat and seafood. So seafood is at least like 3 times a week or even more, and like we always buy wild caught salmon and stuff like that. It works for us. We feel healthy and our skin, hair, nails, all of it feels nicer. So anyway, ours is about 1250, average is 770. Let's move on to next section.
Transport and car costs.
So, a bit of a context in terms of transport and car costs. We have included everything that goes in this section. Things like your tolls, parking fees, servicing, maintenance, rego. Did I say insurance? Okay. In New South Wales, we have like your compulsory third-party insurance and then comprehensive insurance. All of it. So we have included all of it, and we have also included public transport because Karthik takes public transport to work, and he goes to work like 2 to 3 times a week. So all up, we spend about $800 per month, and that is including 2 cars.
Yeah. So according to TimeOut's report, on an average, people in Sydney spend about $300 to $400 on transport. That is, unless they have 2 cars and a long commute.
Which we do.
So yeah.
Fitness and self-care. In this section, we have included our gym memberships, any treatments that we get done. So I get like laser hair removal done. That's like once every 3 months or something. Eyebrows done, nails done. So anything and everything that is included in like our gym memberships. So that also includes like supplements and anything else that we do for gym, like maybe buying some products or whatever. So it includes those things as well as like our beauty treatments and stuff like that. So all up, I think we spend on an average $530 to $550 per month. That's for the 2 of us.
According to Finder's average lifestyle spending data, on an average, couples spend about $150 to $200 a month.
So we spend clearly more than that, like double of that plus more. Now, I think the problem with all these research things are, I don't know what exactly they include in those things. Gym membership for one person is $25 a week. I don't know if there are like cheaper options available around where we live. This is not your like high class fancy gym or anything. They don't have pool, they don't have sauna, they don't have a lot of things, but it's still $25 a week. And what else? Like haircut is easily for women. The basic I have seen is about $45 or something. I've not seen anything cheaper than that. So I don't know how these research companies do the research, but in real life, it costs us about $530 to $5. It could be like maybe we are in the slightly pricier range, but I highly doubt how one can fit everything in like
$150 doesn't seem right for a couple, because if you're going to gym, you would need your whey proteins. You might need some other supplements, to help you achieve your goals. And it doesn't seem realistic, but hey, it is what it is. We are just telling you what research tells us.
Okay, let's move on to next section.
Utilities and internet.
In this section, we have included things like our phone bills, our broadband connection at home, our electricity bill, our gas bill, and water bills. So we live in like a individual house. We have a decent sized front yard and backyard, and we water plants. You can see there's fountain there that's going on like a few hours a day. So we have for all of this, we spend about $600 a month on an average. Some of these bills are quarterly, some of it is just paid annually, whatever. So we spend about $600 a month on an average.
But according to Canstar, an Australian Bureau of Statistics, the average spend on utilities per household of two is about $400 to $450.
The next section is health insurance and medical. In this section, we are only going to consider health insurance. There is no ongoing medical expenses as such for us now. Touch wood. So I recently did like compare the market for health insurance, and ours is coming up to $493 per month. I have gotten like the gold tier hospital cover only because we want to start thinking about expanding our family and having a child and all that, and the pregnancy benefit was only included in that kind of cover. And when you do this research for like medical insurances, they do ask you like your pay and annual salary and all of it. So depending on where your income range is, you may or may not get some rebate. For us, for myself, it was about $300 odd dollars, close to $350 just for my gold cover health insurance, and the rest of it is Karthik's.
So it was somewhere around $155 for me per month, because I wanted to go on a very basic cover that did not have a lot of extras, because I don't honestly mind, and I was on a corporate plan before this and I was honestly not using any of those extras, even though I was paying a premium price. So we just said to ourselves, like, what is the point in having this? So it's just, for the fact of having a cover, I have one.
Yeah. So we are about 500 for the two of us.
Yeah. According to Finder reports, many couples on an average pay about $300 to $350 a month for health insurance.
So they may not be getting like gold covers and all that, or they may not be getting a lot of extras. I don't know how it is done. The data is there.
Yeah, this is just an average, and there are a lot of elements there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle that we don't have information about. It's just an average. So yeah.
What I'm telling you is the real thing that we can answer. The other ones, it's just whatever we find the internet. I just wanted to add one thing. In this calculation, we deliberately left off the amount we spent on Karthik's recent surgery, because that is not an ongoing thing, and it is more of we treated it as a one-off expense. So that's not included in this $500. Let's move on to next section. From next section on, they are not like fixed price ones. Up until now, we gave you the section, like we went through sections where we know we'd definitely be spending around this money every month for these sections. But from now on, it's very random and ad hoc. We'll talk you through.
Home maintenance and insurance.
Okay, in this section, we want to include everything and anything that goes in this home maintenance category as well. The only fixed part in this is $143 that we spend for home and contents insurance. That is what we spend every month, and that's fixed. The variable portion of it can be either zero in a month, or it can be a few $100 or a few $1,000 as well, depending on what we do around the house. Just reiterating, we have recently only moved into this house, and we are still trying to set up as much as we can, and we buy furnitures, we buy like things for garden, or do minor repairs, do some DIY kind of thing. So all that will still be part of it when we are doing like a monthly when we are working out like a monthly expenditure. But for now, the only fixed expense is $143.
The only reason we add all these other things, the DIY and other things related to home maintenance, along with the insurance, is because it's really important for us to keep a track on what we are spending our money on.
Yeah.
And we'd like to, budget things around that. For example, if we like keep a budget of, let's say, $300 to $400, and if we overshoot it in a month, maybe we'll be mindful the next month and make sure that we bring it down. So it helps us, calculate our finances accordingly.
So yeah, so there's no fixed thing, and we are also not like limiting a lot or anything like that. If we like it, we'll just get it kind of thing, and be like, okay, we'll cut down on that one or this one or something like that. Or sometimes we don't cut down at all, but
Yeah.
all that for a different day.
Yeah.
And
But
what's the average? You want to talk about the average?
according to Finder and Moneysmart, most couples in Sydney spend on an average about $250 to $350 a month on home maintenance and insurance.
Eating out and subscriptions. In terms of subscriptions, we have Netflix, YouTube, Prime, Apple, Notion, Meta, verification for my Instagram, ChatGPT. That's all I can remember now. But anyway, we have a bunch of subscriptions. And eating out, sometimes we go to like really nice fancy places, sometimes it's just any normal restaurant. So on an average, we are spending about $350 for this category.
But according to Finder's data, couples on an average in Sydney spend about $150 to $250 a month on eating out and subscriptions.
And this is one of those sections where the number sometimes is like very less or it can go crazy. If we are like going for an anniversary lunch, dinner, those kind of things, this section is more like $500, $800.
Yeah, it actually works in tandem with the previous section, the home DIY
section.
stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe if we spend a lot more there, we reduce it here, whereas it's
it's the
vice
other way.
versa as well.
That's how we would plan. That's why I kept all these three sections at the bottom.
Miscellaneous, gifting and shopping.
This section, I don't even know how to calculate, but on an average, it is about $500. So both of our birthdays are on the same month and we go shopping the previous month. So that month, we may spend like 1,000 odd dollar just shopping clothes and jackets and shoes and whatnot. We may do another big shopping around Diwali time or any festival time, or like just here and there we're doing some shopping. So I don't know. And we've also noticed when functions come, like when friends have babies or housewarming, it's just one after the other. So a lot of them come at the same time. Otherwise, it's very dry and there's no functions. So if we were to like average it out, maybe $500 a month.
Yeah.
And I'm just bringing that number from nowhere. It's like,
Yeah. Every month it looks a bit different, but it always exists.
so to wrap up, our expenses, everything that I told you earlier, I've just included home insurance as $150 instead of 143, and that totals up to 4,700. We'll add a bit more, like $500 or $1,000 extra. Some months we may spend about that when there are more functions, more festivities happening, and in other months we may not spend as much when there's nothing happening. So I hope this gives you like a realistic picture of how much us as a couple spend living in Sydney outside housing. A few things of note though: we have two cars. We also live in like an individual house, and it has like good size front yard and backyard, and we have a good garden as well. So we spend a lot of water in watering those plants and our front yard and everything. So our water bills are usually on a higher side. Same goes with like electricity and gas. You see, this is a void, right? This area, just to cool it down and or like heat it up, it takes a lot of energy. So our power bills are also on the higher side. We do have solar, but it's still there, and I need to like provide you the realistic context around it. So all up, this is what we spend, and this is our version of how much it costs us to live in Sydney.
And on the flip side, according to Moneysmart and Finder.com, a couple living in Sydney on average spends about $4,200 to $4,500 a month. So we are definitely above average. Above average is good, right?
Very good.
We've given you the average and we've also given you our numbers. It all depends on your lifestyle. It could be entirely different to our lifestyle, and so your expenses could be entirely different.
So you have two reference points here. Ours is about what? I don't know. 4,700 is somewhat fixed, and then it can go above that depending on the month and whatever is going on in our life. And what was the average? For 4,200 to 4,500. So we're there. Yeah. I'd be keen to know, how do your costs compare and what shocked you the most in from our numbers. Please let us know, and we'll see you in another video. Bye.